Much different tune than what we had the other day on Saturday night, breaking down game number 66 against the Senators for tonight's St. Patrick's Day game, defeating the Calgary Flames in a whomping, I think is probably an appropriate word, 6-2 here tonight against the Flames. Second goal by Calgary coming late in that one with an unlucky one off of Scott Laughton. That was from the save of Joseph Woll. That hits Laughton. That goes into basically just an empty net there. Unfortunate one. We'll break down tonight's game. We'll talk about things that went right, where we're currently sitting at. And tonight, I definitely want to take some callers here and get some people's thoughts on how they're feeling about this game, about the season, if this changes anything, if there's anything that can happen with this Leafs team that can change anything. And it's all a presentation of Bet365. As always, you guys make sure to be in the chat there, hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel, Leaf Station 401. Just want to say, because I think I kind of rushed out a little bit on Saturday night. I obviously got to go on Morning Take with the boys. Thanks to Carter Hutton and Nick for having me on the show with them, give some thoughts on what we just saw over the weekend and where we were currently sitting at, feelings emotionally, whatever it may have been, reacting to the games that we saw on Thursday and Saturday. But just to you guys in the chat, I just want to give a huge thank you. Obviously, the people here at the Leafs Nation and the Nation Network who allow this stuff to happen and come up with ideas like Saturday night and put me on air doing things like what we did on Saturday night with the beer stream, the St. Patrick's Day stream there for that and to get us over the hump. But we hit 15,000 subscribers. You guys showed up huge. I think we had over 300 likes total on that stream there. On top of that, we had about $500 donated or super chatted here to the channel. And you guys know we have a Sick Kids charity partner this season. So proceeds from our super chats go to Sick Kids charity. It's an awesome cause. I see some super chats there for Sick Kids already coming through. So I'll read those. You want your questions or your comments answered, you send them in the chat via super chat. I will answer and read all of them that come through. But Saturday night was a lot of fun despite the frustrating, angry mood that Vic and I were both in on that one. And, I mean, I can't thank you guys enough for the participation, for showing up, sending the stream out to other people, subscribing, liking, and donating the money. It's a lot of fun to do the show. Sometimes the team can be a little bit frustrating to watch and break down. Saturday night streams, kind of one of those ones where it was like a combination of that was awesome because of you guys, and this sucked because of the team. But it happens, and I mean, if it's not for those of you in the chat for making the stream the way that it is, I mean, it wouldn't be that fun. So thank you guys. I just wanted to say that there quickly, and we do have a few super chats and stuff to get to here tonight. So we will get to those. I mean, we might as well start with that here, right? I feel like that's kind of probably a good way for us to open up the show and just see where you guys are at. I'm going to send the link in here in the chat in a moment as well. If you guys want to, call in tonight, you're more than welcome to. Keep hitting the like button, subscribe to the channel here though as well. So let's start with these super chats. Super chat, the first one that I see that we've got here right now, Maxentius Decimus, that one came in right before the show had started. They always win the games we want them to, smiley face, brackets, sends. No, I mean, yeah, you want them to win those games. Sends the Panthers game, can't get it done. It's a game like this tonight against Florida that you come out and you just absolutely smoke them, and it's like, or against Calgary, sorry, you absolutely smoke them. It's like, oh yeah, this team's back. We're good. We believe. There's people in the chat are going nuts. People online, they're all the way back in. Can't believe people gave up on this team. I mean, look, I'm happy they responded the way that they did here tonight. It's a positive sign. There are some things I'm going to dig into specifically that went on here that I was happy to see, proud to see, whatever you want to call it. It's still not going to change my opinion. Like the stuff that they've shown, it feels like big picture, that's who they are. These games like this tonight is not just enough to flip me back and to be like, oh yeah, I'm all the way in on this team. I'm happy they won tonight against Calgary. You should have won tonight against Calgary. The game against the Senators, it's not even the fact that they lost, which I think a lot of people get stuck up in. It's how they play in those games and where the big storylines are. Another super chat. Another super chat here. Again, thank you guys for sending them. KPG seems to be all the way back in there. Go along Lakeshore, up University, and then City Hall. That's for those of you who are not local here, or maybe are from another fan base or another city, whatever it may be, and you're not familiar. That would be the parade routes that KPG is implying the Maple Leafs should be taking. I'm not quite at that point of buying into saying, yeah, let's plan the parade. I don't think we're quite at that point. Another super chat. This is an interesting couple super chats to start this here. So Sangnam, we went through two kind of super sarcastic super chats to start. So Sangnam says, I hate to bring this up, but Woll is signed $2.3 million for 3 years and not a single point tonight. Again, the Leafs need him to contribute to depth scoring. Shake my head. Chat's feeling loose here tonight after this win. Feeling loose after this one. Mike Batson, Robertson is a sniper. Remember, you keep him as 13th forward. Sniper, you keep him as 13th forward. Remember last year, Nicky scratch and score. Yes, Nicky scratch and score is like the cheat code. You're looking for a goal from somebody in the bottom six? Scratch Nick Robertson. Bring him back into the lineup. It's almost like a guarantee that Nick Robertson is getting on the board. It's a guaranteed that Nick Robertson is finding a way to score, to create a chance. I don't know. Like, this guy, it's like every single time that he goes out, every single time that he ends up in the press box, he comes back in, and all of a sudden it's on the board. The guy's getting goals. The guy's finding ways to score. It is unbelievable just how automatic it is. Like, legitimately every single time. Every single time this guy does it. Good on him. Good on him. Producer Vic in the chat, give Woll Wednesday, you cowards. I think at this point, Producer Vic is very much in on the Joseph Woll. He's the number one starters guy. So, dug into some of the chat there. I'm going to send you guys a link to call into the show. If you want to call in, you click on the link. You just wait there. You don't have to go on video. I am willing to hear from listeners tonight how you feel about this game. How you feel about the team as a whole. I have some thoughts, and I'll pitch in here and there, but I want to know where you guys are at, and I'll continue to give mine as well as it goes on. While we wait for calls here, though, I want to start in one specific spot. I want to start with Joseph Woll's performance. We were looking for guys to respond, guys to rebound, and one of the big key factors that I thought happened here tonight in terms of like a response from this group was Joseph Woll playing the way that he did. Look, that's not a guy who desperately needed to show up here tonight because he's the one who's been, in a slumber, and he's the one costing the team games or anything like that. The goaltending has dipped over the last little while. It's taken a bit of a step back. And I feel like it kind of opened things up to a point where some of the issues that you had just got really overexposed. Like, we really got to see some of the problems that you had when things got moving quickly and you were in transition game and you couldn't keep up or you couldn't match guys and you were scrambling to score. You were scrambling in your own zone. All of a sudden, your goaltending kind of takes a bit of a dip, and then the team is getting exposed. The results are not there. You're piling up some losses. You're blowing leads, that kind of stuff. It starts to happen because the goaltending was not at that elite level that it had basically been through 55 to 60 games there this season. Obviously, take out Hildeby and Murray starts. If you look at just Woll and Stolarz, very, very reliable for the most part. Joseph Woll stepped up here tonight and bounced back right away. The team did around him, and we will dig into the team. We will get into how they played here tonight, but I wanted to kind of start with Joseph Woll because I feel like if he doesn't open up the first period and then kind of into the second period the way that he does, this thing could have very easily been flipped on its head. Not because Calgary was generating crazy chances, but it was like, I looked at Luke Fox's tweet after the first period, and this is more so what I mean. Toronto had 10 high danger chances. Calgary had 1 in the first period. It's 1-1. The Rasmus Anderson goal, I believe, beat Joseph Woll on the 5-hole there. If that doesn't happen, or if that's not the only goal that's scored, maybe there's a couple unlucky bounces. Maybe there's a couple that would have gone in the last few games, squeaky ones that would have went in on Samsonov. Then all of a sudden you might get into a panic situation. Then you're feeling a bit uncomfortable and you're wondering, okay, are we having to fight back from down 2-1? Like, how are we going to get ourselves back into this one? Joseph Woll stepped up. He looked good pretty early. It's not like he faced the craziest chances, but the ones that he did, he stopped, and he didn't let in any weak ones. And I wanted to kind of give Joseph Woll credit for that. 26 shots for the Calgary Flames. Only 2 beat him here tonight, and one of them was just not his fault at all. But with that said, we've got a caller on the line here. Let's welcome our first caller to the show. Who am I speaking to, and what do you got going on here tonight?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Who is this right now?
Guess who? I met you. Sorry, it's Max.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, you said I met you. Yes, Max, what's up?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Not bad.
Feeling pretty good after 2 points, right? 2 points.
Getting the 2 points feels good. I'm happy that they responded and they didn't squeak out a win here tonight against Calgary. But, it doesn't completely patch up what we've seen over like the last 2 weeks and the game that we had on Saturday night.
Exactly. Like, I watched this game and I want the 2 points, but like I couldn't care less about how they played in this game because my mind is still set on like the last few games.
Right.
And one of the things I want to talk to you about was how our power play and our PK like looks so bad against Florida. Mm-hmm. Like they pressure us up high and we look slow and we don't pass the puck. And like if we play like that, it doesn't matter how we do for the rest of the season or for the first round. You know what I mean? Like if we meet up with the Florida Panthers, we're screwed.
So, what I will say with this, and people might get mad because of the results that we saw here tonight. I mean, I look at this on power play goals, 3 for 3, penalty kill, 4 for 4. Quite literally perfect, right? Max, like you cannot get better than that. 3 for 3 on your power play, 4 for 4 on your penalty kill. I agree with you. And it's one thing that I want to kind of caution people with against this Flames team here tonight. So, the penalty kill, I will give them full credit. They have kind of been really sliding here over the last couple of weeks, and they've looked real rough. Tonight, I thought that the penalty kill actually looked good alongside with the results that they got. Like, let's start on the penalty kill here, Max. Would you agree with that? Would you agree that the process that went in the penalty kill looked better than the process that we've seen against Florida, against Ottawa the other day, even dating back to like Utah and Colorado in those games? The penalty kill, the way they played, looked better, and the results were there alongside it.
Yeah, you have to understand, though, like, this isn't a slight against Calgary. They played a great game. You know what I mean? Like, the Leafs played a great game tonight, and there's nothing that anybody else can say that, like, they played a great game. And Calgary won those points, but they couldn't get it. The Leafs were better. That's the way it is. There's no disrespect towards Calgary, but this is the most Leafy thing ever. It's like we lose against our rivals, the key games that we want to win, they lose in them. And then we beat like another team who desperately needs the points that we don't really care about, you know?
I know.
No slight to Calgary fans, but like I understand the PK. Sure, great. It was fine, but this is still Calgary. You know what I mean? Like it's not
Yes, yes. More so
Florida,
what
it's
I
not
mean though.
Colorado.
Agreed. But more so what I mean is I like the way that they played the power play here, the penalty kill here tonight. I thought they pressured out. I thought they tried to take time and space away. Like they weren't really just kind of sitting back and giving Calgary options. They were taking away shots and lanes when they came up there. So I thought that they deserved credit for that, and being rewarded with the 4-for-4 on the penalty kill, I thought was fair here tonight. I'm
Let
not
me
gonna.
let me say then, if they could do that every night, I will love them forever.
Well, that's the problem with this team every single season and every single time we watch these games, right, Max? Like that's why this game here tonight does not have me buying back in on the team, because you need to see that every night. Look, I'll say this as well, and I mean we're jumping kind of around here on different spots, but I think it's to the point and it's to the theme, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but there's a part of me in this game tonight that makes watching what we just did more frustrating, knowing what we just came off of against Florida, against Ottawa. Because seeing this game here tonight, seeing them step up, seeing them respond, go hard on the forecheck, Matthews being a guy who's all of a sudden stepping up and having shifts where he looks a little bit dominant, guys jumping in and being involved in some physical play, blocking shots, commitment to that kind of stuff, shutting things down in the neutral zone, and just being hard on the forecheck. They can do it. Sometimes they just choose not to. And watching this game against Calgary, and I don't want to make this again like a negative stream or anything here tonight. I just want to kind of bring up the fact that a game like this makes it almost more frustrating to know that they get paid $13.5 million, and sometimes they say, fuck it, we'll show up in the next one.
And never for our rivals.
Right. Right. And that's, I think, the point. I think it might have been you as well in the last stream saying, like, it's like it means more to us than it does to them.
Man, I'll give you a positive, though.
Okay, let's hear it.
William Nylander still looks good when you need him.
Yes, he does. William Nylander, I thought, looked very good tonight. And by the way, I want to point it out. Vic and I talked about it on Saturday. Scrum goes on. Who's in the scrum? William Nylander. Tonight, I think it was the second period. JT drops a pass to Willie. Willie tries to get a shot off, doesn't get it clean off. The puck kind of dribbles in on Dustin Wolf. He goes to cover it. Willie steps back, jabs away at Dustin Wolf, or kind of tries to get his stick in there, I should say, maybe more so than jabs away, but tries to get his stick in there. And then a scrum breaks out, and William Nylander is the first guy in there throwing cross checks, ready to go, grabbing guys. Like the turn of events that we've seen, the change in trajectory of how Leafs fans have felt about this guy from his rookie season to where he's at now is unbelievable, Max. Unbelievable.
He's matured so much. Like he has become a man, you know what I mean? Like matured and not just been like, because he's always had this like aloof personality. That's why people don't think he's trying out there on the ice, but he's very smart. And he's finally realized that like if he actually puts his mind to it, he can actually do something, you know what I mean? And I wish a couple of the other core members could do that. I think Tavares has it. The other two, I don't know.
Well, you saw him join in. Like you saw JT join in on that one, which is another thing that I thought was a positive sign when Willie got into that scrum. Like JT did grab a guy there as well. But yeah, look, I mean, I'm at the point where I'm just willing to admit like William Nylander is the one who possibly cares the most here, probably cares the most. I think of the core guys, he's the heart. He's the guy who goes. You saw it in the clip last year when he's yelling at the guys on the bench, like, stop fucking crying. We've talked about, guys calling teammates out. Like, it's not like you want somebody who's a cancer on the bench or a cancer in the room going nuts all the time, but you do want somebody to step up and say, hey, let's go here. Like, let's wake up. He showed that he did that there. We've seen him do it through his play. I thought William Nylander was great here tonight. He was ready to go from the jump. Like, this was a great game for him again, coming off of another one that I thought he deserved credit for on Saturday night as well, where he looked like he was the only one of Matthews, Marner, and Nylander, only one of the three to be really going.
Carlo looked great tonight.
Yes.
I thought Carlo did. He's starting to figure out the the bad play of Riley and how to figure out how to play with it. Because you have to understand that he's paid $7 million or whatever, but anybody who's brought in has to understand that they got to figure out how to play with Morgan Riley. It's not the other way around.
Which is a frustrating. It's a frustrating experience, right? The guy's the most highly paid defenseman on the roster. He's been touted as like the number one guy. I think Leafs fans for a long time have known or felt that he's not the number one guy. But to your point, Brandon Carlo here, yet another good game. I think it was 63% expected goal share when Brandon Carlo was on the ice. You know, I was taking note in the first period, on the first penalty kill and then into the second penalty kill. He was one of the most noticeable penalty killers in like the least noticeable way. You know, he does not jump out off the page to you, but every time they would do like a replay back to how a play got broken up or how a pass got missed or how something just didn't get through clean, it was like, wow, shocker. It was Brandon Carlo there. It was Brandon Carlo on the guy's hip to disrupt something. It was Brandon Carlo to get his stick on the guy's stick. Like, he just makes smart plays. He's in the right spots at the right time. He's a strong guy who doesn't lose physical battles, which is nice. Like, think about the years of Justin Hall, Marty Marinson, Igor Ozhiganov, Nikita Zaitsev. We're watching these guys who are these big guys back there that you'd expect to be able to win net front battles, win corner battles, win board battles. And they just get pushed off so easily. Like they just get pushed to the side. That guy right now, he just seems to be a calm, steady presence. And if he can continue to build chemistry with Morgan Riley, I mean, it couldn't happen at a better time heading into the playoffs here, Max.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, it's only been a couple games since we had Lawton and Carlo over here, and like, you can't really judge them really quickly. Now, do you want them to just jump in and be like what we traded Minden for? Like, he just scored a natural hat trick in the minors. Like, woo, you know, like fans I see online panicking about that. And it's like, it can't be anything worse than Toskala and Rask, okay? Like, chill out.
I mean, this is fair. This is fair. I don't think we're looking at one of those. Again, I also saw like, you know, the comparisons of like Tyler Seguin and that kind of stuff. Like, no, I don't think you're going down that path with this. I think it became pretty obvious what Fraser Minton was. He's going to be a good NHL player, but he's not a guy that this team deemed was going to be able to help you right now. And Brandon Carlo gets some term. He's a real good top four defenseman, and he's going to be able to fit in for the next couple of years. Like, that's the trade-off that you've made. You get a couple-year window with the guy who, again, here tonight, looked very, very good, very confident on the back end for this Leafs team.
One thing I want to say is that Joseph Woll had a great night tonight, too. Like, he put himself back in the question of who starts in game one. You know what I mean? Like, he looked confident. I know it's just Calgary Flames. I've been saying that the whole night. But he looked pretty confident in his stopping ability tonight. He didn't look like he was sick.
No, and Vic, I mean, Vic is going to be fired up in the chat there. I see him buzzing around already, but I mean, he was pretty pumped up about the Joseph Woll start. He was pretty pumped up about having him jump in here and be able to take the net over. Do you think a game like this is something that does put him back, especially given the play with Anthony Stolarz? Like, what do you do on Wednesday? How do you kind of respond to a game like this? What are your thoughts going forward into the next game?
I totally start Joseph Woll next game. Ride the hot hand.
Test him out.
See what he's got. He's coming back. He's starting to feel like himself. Let's see how much he feels like himself. You know what I mean? Like, give him another chance. And it by no chance is like, obviously he's not starting game one right now, but like, let's see what he can do.
Fair enough. You got any other positives from here tonight, Max?
I still love our defense. Like, best defense that we've had since the Cujo era, like with McCabe and Caberlet. Like, I just love watching Benoit and Tanev and McCabe and OEL. You know, just like throwing body checks and just being defensively sound. I don't care if they don't score as much, like we wish Riley could because he's paid all the money, but like, oh well. But like
Fair.
the rest of them, I love the rest of our decor. I love it, and that's all I gotta say.
Anything else for you here tonight, Max? I'm with you on the decor. I think this is the best one that we've seen. I think top to bottom, you want to see the team play better defensively as a group, and I mean, hopefully here tonight is a step back in the right direction. Who knows? But this was much more the way you'd like to see them play. Now, mind you, it was the Calgary Flames, but you would like to see them push back in that direction. Where are you at here? I mean, are you buying back in? Like, what are your thoughts, Max? On the final thing, I'll get you to answer here before you hop out. Are you buying back in?
No, not really.
Okay.
Like I've watched the Leafs so many years, and I've got my hopes up so many years that like I just enjoy the game. So like I'm happy tonight. We won.
Yep.
It's 2 points. We got it. It's great. It was fun to watch. Do I think we're gonna win the first round? Probably. Do I think we're gonna win the second round? I don't know. But like I just enjoy each game because I'm a Leafs fan and we always lose. So
Okay, fair enough. I'm with you on that. I am not bought back in. I am at least happy with the win here tonight. Max, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you for taking the time to do this. As Billy T says in the chat there, Maxentius Decimus equals maximum call in. Max, thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I look forward to seeing you in the chat there.
Good night.
There you go. There's Maxentius Decimus. I think that we've got our next caller lined up here. I think he should be good to go. I will just double check this here right now, but if he is ready, I mean, we might as well just jump right to it. Our next caller of the night, first time, I believe, on the Leafs Nation After Dark and the Leafs Nation channel ever, KPG. KPG, I got you there? I might have got left out to dry here on that one. I might have to reconnect KPG. We'll see if I can get this going here on KPG. But in the meantime, while I see if I can get KPG in here. While he tries to... Oh, there we go. I think we might have got him now.
Can you hear me?
Go. Yep, there we go. KPG, what's up?
Okay.
And he's gone. Just like that. Right as he gets in, he's gone. If he wants to jump back in, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, jumped in and gone. He's talking and then he's gone. Yeah, look, I mean, I'm not here planning parades after a game like this tonight. I am happy with the win. I'm happy to see them jump back. I think one of the big stories for me is still going to be William Nylander. Just, it feels like these things keep happening, and maybe it's the best thing to have with William Nylander, like watching players like Matthews and Marner have the games like they did on Thursday and the games like they did on Saturday, because it might just be something that like makes him look around and go, what the hell are these guys doing? I've got to be the one to step up, because the game he had here tonight, I thought he was excellent. I think we've got him back here now. KPG, do I got you?
Yeah. Zack,
there we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, bro.
What's up?
Happy St. Patrick's Day to you, Zack, to producer Vic, to
Happy
Nick.
St. Patrick's Day to you as well.
For sure, brother. It's I'd love to see you chugging some beers, but I think you drank enough for 3 games last episode.
That was a lot, eh? That was a lot. I didn't realize, see, like on a normal night, yeah, that's probably, I'm not trying to like pump my tires or say, yeah, like I'm so sick or anything, but like I could do that. Like that's not a problem. It's when you realize you've done it in like 65 minutes and you've just been chugging and then trying to continue a conversation with Vic about the Leafs team. When the show ends, you all of a sudden look around and go, what the fuck just happened?
It was for the children, bro.
It was.
You did it for the kids. You know, a worthy cause.
It was. It was a worthy cause. I am happy that we did it. So I will say that.
I'm telling you, head east down Lakeshore, up University, make a right on. We're heading to City Hall, baby. That proves it. We're going straight to the Stanley Cup. Beat the Calgary Flames. We're back on the bandwagon. They sucked us in one more time.
You're bought back in, hey?
If you want to know, when I opted out, it was. I think I saw you at Greta Bar, and I said, "Dude, after Game 7 with Boston last year, I actually went into depression. Like, I'm not joking. I'll just be vulnerable on this chat, okay? I actually went into depression, and all of us get sucked in every time. But I've got enough sense to know if you only make changes around the edges, which this year I can't say it's just the edges, it's a little bit more than that. But
yeah,
if you don't deal with the problem, okay, if you don't deal with the problem, you can't expect a different result. And we keep expecting a different result. I'm not expecting a different result this season. I haven't since October at all. September, October. I'm watching for the same reason that Maxentius just said. Like, I love the beauty of the play,
yeah.
but these guys aren't the guys. Like, let's just face it. I don't want to talk too much about something negative on a great night where they did play really, really well. But this, Calgary Flames, are they even a playoff team? We don't even know, right? Like, but the other teams are Vegas, Colorado, Florida, Ottawa. They lost convincingly in those games that they should have showed up. And that's sort of like what I'm expecting. So when I say plan the parade, I'm kind of joking, right?
Kind of, just kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, KPG, I'm with you on this. Like, I'm happy to see this win tonight. Again, there's parts of this that are just really frustrating. Like a win like this after what we saw on Saturday almost just makes it more frustrating for me. I know I've said this over and over again, but look at this, the change in how the games played out. And I'm not just talking about result. Like, I'm talking about how they played, the process that went into it. Watch the first shift of the first line tonight in this game. Compare it to any shift they had on Saturday night. And it's like they came in here ready to go. Matthews is buzzing around. He's getting in on the forecheck. He's winning board battles. He's taking the puck to the net. He's scoring vintage Austin Matthews goals. And you watch the Saturday night game, and it's like a lack of willingness to engage physically, a lack of willingness to take a hit. Puck goes down into the corner. He's going to be second to the puck, and normally it's fine because he gets down there and he's second to the puck, but it's because he's timed it perfectly and he's winning. Like, it just looked slower. It looked a step behind. And then you watch this game here tonight, and it's like these guys have jumped. They look like they're ready to go. They want to win this game. They've got some intensity. And I'm just looking around going, what the fuck are we watching? And Maxentius points it out, and it's the thing that frustrates me with these guys, and it's the thing that I like gravitate towards when I watch games. Like, McDavid may not have his A game, let's say skill wise is maybe the right way to word it. McKinnon may not have his A game skill wise. Those guys are going to run through walls to try to make impacts on the game.
Dig deep.
I don't see. Yeah, they dig deep. That's a good way to put it. I don't see that same thing with Matthews and Marner every night. Tonight,
never.
Matthews did it. Nylander did it. Those guys bought in. They were ready. They were playing like that. Saturday night, not the same. That's the disconnect for me here right now, KPG.
Totally agree. And I don't know whether it's because they're just kind of like not really into it. They don't have the will to win, or when the ice gets smaller and they start to get intimidated and they're around the perimeter. Like, that's definitely what's happening with Marner, maybe even Matthews. I went to the finals in Boston, and I called Boston sports radio the next day. Is it okay if I tell you what they said about Matthews?
Go for it. Let's hear it.
They called him a total loser. This is Team USA. It's like they said when he he gets 69 goals and he leafed America. Like he got 69 goals in the season. And then when he had like 3 or 4 chances in OT, couldn't score. And so, you know, we love our heroes. I love these guys. I love watching them, but they're not the guys. Okay. When it's everything is on the line, he's their captain. He didn't step up, but McJesus stepped up, you know, if you want to compare with McDavid. So that's what we have, but I don't see that as a player issue. I see that as a management issue. You've known it since 2021. Producer Vic's known it since 2020. I've known it since 2021. Most of the guys here have known it like for the past few years. You can't keep running it back, and that's what they do, and they're going to do it again this year. They're going to be groveling at Marner's feet to re-sign him, and it's like, dude, you're just going to do the same thing. It's not that Marner is a bad player. He's excellent, but it's about the architecture of this team. To architect a building that rises high, you need to have the right pillars. And right now, these pillars, you have a limitation on how high it can rise. So you need new pillars into that ground. Willie, pillar number 1. Everybody can see it. It wasn't just, the Boston series. Montreal, he got that Montreal series where nobody showed up. He got 5 goals.
Yeah.
He's the man. Okay. He's pillar number 1. JT, he got a little bit of clutch, but he's not captain material. But I'm not going to diss him too much because he did score some winning goals against Tampa, if you recall.
Yep.
I don't love him, but I'm not going to be negative on him. But the other guys who are making like buco cash, they don't dig deep and they don't show up
What
at the
word did you
important
just
game.
use? What word? Buco cash? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah.
What does
They
that
do.
mean?
It's like, dude, they're all making like 10 sheets plus, 4 guys. Like when you make 10 sheets, you got to be the guy you got to be the guy who can just like carry the team on your back. You got to be that guy. And we've got four guys earning 10 sheets more plus, and none of them have shown it except maybe Willie. Like I can't say he's carried the team on his back, but he's shown up. He's been solid.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to. A couple of points that I'd like to make.
Yep.
I'm loving how Domi's coming out. He is turning it up at the right time of the season.
Yep.
I have some hope there. Even tonight, he was wicked. I saw him almost laying a check at the blue line where he missed a guy. He would have totally destroyed him. You know how he's been playing all week? He did you see the replay where they showed him choking the guy in our crease?
Yeah, dude.
It was hilarious. And then he looks up at the ref to see if he got caught, and I think Toronto scored right after that. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
like,
it was Rasmus
that's what you
Anderson.
need.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what I love. I don't need a beautiful pass from Marner. I need choking in the crease. That's what I need to see at this time. Right? That's what I need to see. And Robertson, beautiful plays. Like he's played there. The cool thing about tonight, if there's a really good positive takeaway, I saw the lads having fun tonight. I saw Domi Robertson having fun. I saw even Matthews Marner having fun. That's fun to watch. That's a good thing, but they have a lot of room on the ice because it's Calgary. They can do that. It's might as well be preseason, right? Like it's not Florida. It's not Colorado. It's not like Ottawa, who's super hungry. And I honestly wouldn't want to face in the playoffs, to tell you the truth. So
yeah.
Beautiful to watch these guys. Beautiful. I enjoy it. I'm not planning the parade, but if I'll be at Greta Bar watching with you, cheering them on, and even fly to one of the cities if we have to, man. But I'm not like, you can't win if you don't change shit up materially, you're not going to change the result. Right.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. I think I'm on the same page as you. A big picture here, KPG. Like, I kind of felt like the realization that came out of this weekend was, we had tried. There was frustrations with the team. Then all of a sudden you get to Thursday and you get to Saturday and we walked away. Like, in all seriousness, if you watch those games, the Leafs didn't play poorly. Like, it wasn't like, oh, wow, they stunk tonight. It was like they were in a tough game. They were in a tight game. And, the big boys didn't get it done. And, I mean, Thursday's a little bit of a different story. Don Nylander had some good flashes in there. But, I mean, Saturday night, he was one of the best Leafs for me. He was a guy who was driving play. And then it's like JT looks decent in some of those spots there. And then you look around and, okay, it's Matthews and it's Marner and they're avoiding contact. They're not engaging in those things. I would agree with you for those as well. KPG, I'm going to ask, I know you have smelling salts. Do you have them on you? Because I think you went away, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm in Mexico right now. I can't take that shit across the border. Are you kidding me, bro?
I just wanted to ask. I figured that was the case.
But I got melatonin. That's all I got with me right
That's kind of like the exact opposite almost. Well, I did hit 50 likes, and because I know that you have the smelling salts, then not with you right now, but just, in general, when you get back, you can do some. I'm going to do the smelling salts here now. We got 50 on the stream. We are close to 100 here now. So thanks everyone who's liked, subscribed. Can't bring that stuff across. That's a good call, KPG. No need to risk it. Yeah. There you go. Thank you for liking.
One more thing I want to say, but let's take a huff of those salts. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
There you go.
Just don't get it in the eyes.
Yeah. What else you got to say?
One last thing I got to say. If you look at that interview with Matthews, that guy looks like he's got some chronic illness. Like, he looks like he was in the Boston series. His eyes are all like dark underneath. He doesn't even pump his fist when he scores a goal. I'm like, just based on tonight, I'm thinking this is not a sports injury. It's some sort of like chronic illness that he's got that's not sports related. And that's why, like, there's nothing really that can be done except some long-term treatment that you got to go to some mysterious place for. Take a look at the replays.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I can't speculate on too much of it. I don't know. I think it's back. I think that's the thing that came up when he got the cross check from Jamie Benn a couple of years ago. I think it got re-aggravated earlier this season. I think it got brought back up again in the Buffalo game when he got cross checked there. There's also something that it kind of seems to be popping up. Like, you notice at times where he doesn't fully step into a shot, or things kind of just bobble around on his stick, or he can't get a one-timer off fully. Those are things that stand out to me and make me think it's back again. Yeah,
but he looks deflated
knows,
too.
But yeah, he does look a little deflated. Like, there's times where he just looks like a step behind, a step off. I mean, I don't want to speculate that that's what it would be. I get where you're coming from on that, but I still think it's his back.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it is, I mean, he got goals tonight. Like, I would have rested him, but he got goals tonight. So, and beautiful ones too. Like, that was all Matthews-esque. It was beautiful sniping, fun to watch. But let's see where they go. Like, New York, they play New York next.
I think they play Colorado on Wednesday. They play the Islanders on Thursday, and then I think it's the Islanders on Thursday, right? And then you play the Predators on Saturday, which we will be in Nashville for.
Okay, beautiful. I wish I could be there. I hope a lot of people who are in the chat Rangers are flying Thursday. Down. Ranger, yeah. So they're playing New York, right? Like, yeah. So I mean, New York's pretty competitive. Colorado, very competitive. So they're going to have some more tests. We can kind of see, are these guys like Fugazi or not, right? Like, we're going to get a better look because they need these points.
Yeah. Look, last thing I'm going to ask you here, KPG, before you go and you enjoy the rest of your trip in Mexico there. You're talking about these tests and finding out, if they can do this and stepping up against certain opponents that play better or are tougher opponents, yada, yada, yada. Is there anything this team does between now and playoffs that makes you change your opinion of them, or are you just going to enjoy the ride? You have no expectations, and in fact, probably more so lean towards they can't get it done.
The only thing that would change my mind is if I see them go back to, I can't remember when it was, like around November, December, where they played real tight Berube hockey, where they were only letting 1 or 2 goals go and they were getting enough to win, and they were winning those games. And it was a combination of solid D, back checking, and incredible goaltending. So, Woll played good tonight, but they both been kind of sliding, both Stolars and Woll. I saw Andrew Raycroft in Boston when I was there, and I spoke with him, and I said, who would you play in the playoffs? He said Woll, because Woll has shown that he can play well in the playoffs, but I'm a Stolars guy, but one of those two guys has to become a maniac. If that can happen, if the defensive side can happen, and that, the goalie being a maniac also relies on the blue line. It also relies on the forwards too. If they can really limit the number of goals against solid teams and win, that tells me that they're in playoff mode.
Now, I think that's fair. I still have a lot of questions about what happens going up against playoff teams. And in a playoff atmosphere and rolling into that kind of stuff, I don't know. Honestly, I'm just going to call it what it is. I keep saying the core. I'm going to stop calling it the core. I don't know if Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner have what it takes to get it done in the playoffs, and if they're the dogs to do it, which is what scares me. I think the pieces around have been or are built the best suited for playoff success that we've seen the entire time they've been here, but it's going to come down to those two guys. Nylander steps up. JT's pretty good. He's not like a McKinnon takeover kind of guy, but he's got it within him to have the stones to do it. It's what Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner are going to do. I'm still hesitant to buy in on the fact that they can do it. You saw it here tonight, but what did we see on Saturday? What did we see on Thursday? That's who I believe they are more than what we see tonight.
Totally.
And I don't know that I see anything down the stretch that changes my mind. So at this point, I'm kind of just riding the wave and letting it go. But KPG, thank you for calling in. I appreciate it as
Peace,
always. First time for you calling in. You're welcome back anytime. We appreciate it. When do you come back from Mexico? How long are you gone for?
A couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a time.
End of March or so.
Okay.
Like maybe April 1, around there.
Wow. Good for you, man. You enjoy your time down there.
I wish I was line dancing with you boys down in Nashville.
Next time.
Like that.
Next time.
You know what it's like? That Expedia commercial, with the Japanese girls where they're like in Japan and they like say, yeah, let's go to Nashville. And then all of a sudden there's you and like Nick with cowboy hats, like taking these dipsy-do steps left and right.
No, I don't know what commercial.
You don't know that Expedia commercial? I think they've got it on Prime. I think they showed on Prime, and you haven't seen that one?
Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. No, I don't know.
I gotta forward it to you to like whatever LinkedIn or
Okay.
Twitter or something like that. It's on YouTube. It's hilarious.
Okay, send it to me. Send it to me. Oh my god.
All right, guys.
I have
Take
no
care.
idea. KPG, thanks for calling in. I
Peace.
appreciate it.
Go
Enjoy
Leafs
your
go.
trip. Go Leafs go, and I'll see you in the chat. There you go. KPG hopping in. If anybody else wants to call in, you get in here. I'm happy to have one more caller. I'll take one more caller. The link is pinned there in the chat. I put up a poll here. I want you guys to vote on. I'll give it like a couple more minutes, and then I'll recap the poll. The question on the poll: who is the Leafs alpha? Nylander, Matthews, Marner, other. Those are your poll possibilities. If you guys also want, you can send them in the chat there and let me know who other is, or if no one on this team is an alpha. That's a possibility too. Let's get now to our next segment, and our next segment is presented by Greta, an unbelievable spot. I mean, a bunch of you guys I know at this point have heard about it, probably been there on your own. I got to meet KPG and Maxentius at Greta, so that was super fun. But our next segment is, let's do Mario Kart's Deserve to Win a Meter. The Deserve to Win a Meter breakdown is presented by Greta Bar YYZ. Greta Bar is an amazing spot before, during, and after games. It's a spot that I end up at frequently there. Check out the great street food menu, whether you're just looking for a quick snack or a bite or something that you're looking to eat after a game or while you're drinking, or if you're actually looking for a full sit-down meal. Greta Bar is an amazing spot. Weekly drink specials. Greta Bar is the place to be. 590 King Street West. Greta Bar. Let the games begin. So, we're gonna do our breakdown here of what we've got for the Deserve to Win a Meter, and this comes from moneypuck.com. That's the website we pulled this from. But the Deserve to Win a Meter here tonight, I'm not making it the actual presentation of the Deserve to Win a Meter, but I want to do the breakdown of the Deserve to Win a Meter, because we've made the Deserve to Win a Meter something that comes up basically every show. This is just one of many sites that you could pull up to show this. So the Deserve to Win a Meter here tonight, very much in favor of the Toronto Maple Leafs. 62.6% for the Maple Leafs. Kind of digging through some of the stats that they have up here, this is one thing that I think is very important, and something that I noticed here tonight and was a reason that I was happy with the way that this game played out. Look at where the Maple Leafs scoring chances were generated from versus where the Flames. Look, right in tight, on top of the net, on top of the crease. That's where the vast majority of the Leafs' chances are coming from. You're getting bodies down to the front. You're getting bodies in front of the net. You're getting traffic. You're getting screens. You're getting tips. You're going to the front of the net on follow-ups, for rebounds. You're going and putting pucks there on the ice for shots, for rebounds to be coming out to other people. Like, they were just putting pucks towards the front of the net, getting traffic in front of there. I thought that that was a pretty important thing, so something I wanted to dig into. These are obviously all courtesy of Money Puck, who brings this up, but or who puts these together. But the expected goals here tonight, 3.54 for the Maple Leafs, which means that they scored above what they were expected here tonight. It was a tough night for Dustin Wolf, a tough night for Dan Vladar there when he got in, and that Bobby McMahon goal beat him. Joseph Woll also stops more than what he should have. 2.76 expected goals against. And this is one where the Leafs, I mean, the last goal was also just fluky, unlucky. The other thing that I wanted to point out, I kind of brought him up, and Maxentius there is saying it as well. Matthews leads the Leafs and all players on the ice in expected goals, but it's more than that I wanted to look at. Expected goals percentage. Number one on the Leafs, 84.6%. Number two, Brandon Carlo, 84.2%. This is just good stuff. Your big boys are out there at the top. Nyes, Matthews, Marner, Holmberg, Tavares, Nylander. They're all your top. Tanev, McCabe, your best D pair, and Brandon Carlo. Those guys need to be dominating their minutes, and I thought they did here tonight. I thought that they were really good. Take a look. There's the rest of the expected goals chart, but yeah, doesn't he play with Mo? How is Mo so low? It's a good question, Vic. I mean, during any period of time in which they are not together, I think Morgan O'Reilly's play drops off, and I think part of why this probably jumps up is just the impact Brandon Carlo has. Because you can see there's a couple times that they get separated and don't play together, but Carlo, awesome presence out there on the ice. That is our It's slipping my mind. What is it called? Deserve to win a meter. Thank you. There's our deserve to win a meter segment. Mario Kart, I hope you're happy. That one was specifically for you. Let's get now to another positive for tonight. It didn't happen on the ice, but it happened for us. Well, it happened on the ice as well, but it happened for us mostly off the ice, and I hope 6 1/3 is here so that he can hear this. Our best bet segment, presented by Bet365, as you guys know, breaking news. Breaking news. Yes, that is right. Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win is a barn burner. Every face-off, hat trick, power play, shot on goal, penalty shot, and every suspenseful minute in between is amazing. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, an official partner of the NHL. Download the Bet365 app and use the code NATION, NATION, to get in on the game. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. Okay, our best bet segment here tonight. Thank the Lords. The best bet segment does indeed cash on this one. And it was, if you guys followed along, you would have understood the logic. I hope so. And as I explain it back, hindsight is 2020. But it cashes. And there was good reason behind this one. William Nylander anytime goal was our best bet. We had 3/4 of a unit on it at plus 145. It was $75 to profit us here tonight. 108.75. And that is now back-to-back games that we win our best bets in. Started with the game against Ottawa there the other night where we win the Matthews anytime goal, which was very flukely. But regardless, happy to have that happen. Then we get the Austin Matthews one here tonight, Nylander one, which profits us $108.75. That now brings us to $706 profit on the season. That would be up 7.06 units, and that would be the highest amount of the year. So as we are rolling into the playoffs, we are getting hot here on the pregame best bets at the exact right time. It was up and down throughout the season. There was a point in time where we lost 10 in a row, and it was just ugly. It was gross. We were down in the dumps, but we fought our way back. We get a William Nylander anytime goal, and I thought the guy was spectacular here tonight. I thought that William Nylander could have had even more. I thought he was amazing. Shout out to William Nylander, the one guy, too, of the core to step up and have some balls and get in people's faces. That guy, probably at this point, my favorite Leaf. Just watching him night in, night out, watching him step up, he's a weapon. By the way, the belt for the Leafs looks like it's Brandon Carlo. Got the belt. I'm also seeing this. I think that this was a post-game interview based on the time that I'm starting the show at. Andy Petrillo interviewed Nylander after the game. You want to throw some shit into William Nylander and why this guy is such a stud? William Nylander, after the game, after the win, asked about it. It's just one win. We got to keep it going. Simple as that. But he's right. You got to respect that. All right. Let's get to a couple more things here tonight to wrap this up. Let's now go to, or I guess this is our final thing here on the show tonight. Let's now go to our grade. Oh, wait, no. We have two more things. Let's start with this one. Let's go to our play of the game. Play of the game. I think my play of the game is going to be the Austin Matthews goal. The Austin Matthews goal, to me, the first one, was... That Austin Matthews goal was vintage Austin Matthews. Yes, he bobbles the puck a slight bit at the beginning on that pass across from Nylander on the power play, but he gets in tight there on Wolf, takes that quick second, rips that thing up tight underneath the bar. I wish Austin Matthews didn't bobble that puck and just got it off quicker and cleaner, like truly vintage Austin Matthews. But for him to get two here tonight, For him to get down into those tighter areas around the net, to get off the one-timer on the pass down from Nyes on that power play, which was great puck movement there as well, by the way. It goes from Nylander down to Nyes quickly. As soon as it gets down to him, it gets back up to Matthews, who buries in that one-timer. Like, there was just good movement. I'm just going to give Matthews the player of the game, or the play of the game, excuse me, for that first goal. The honorary mention goes to the second one, and his power play here tonight was buzzing William Nylander with the other goal that he gets there, also on the power play. Let's now get to our super chats, because we do have a bunch. I want to make sure I read all of these before we wrap up. There are a few here, so let's get to these. Okay, starting with So Sang. On a serious note, if Patches returns, thoughts on who should be second line winger for playoffs, and if third and fourth line members are interchangeable. So, I think that based on the way he finished things and just the fact that he's been missing, and honestly, Pontus Holmberg has looked pretty good here as well. I feel like Pacioretty's not going to get the benefit of the doubt and just get thrown into the top six and thrown onto the second line. I would say he probably ends up in some third and fourth line spot. I think the most interchangeable guys here that you look at would be Calle Yarncroke, Steven Lorentz, and Nick Robertson. Outside of that, you're probably pretty much keeping everyone else where they are for the most part. Maybe some shuffling around, but not in and out of the lineup. I would think Pacioretty probably ends up on the third or fourth. Also, yeah, we might as well give credit too as well. Another play of the game could have been the video team for calling in that challenge. That would have made it 2-2. It was one of the most confusing reversals of a call that I've ever seen, given the fact that you couldn't even see the puck on the replay. Now, producer Vic brought up the point, and I agree with him, and he said it in our chat, was like, it was more than likely offside, which I agree with, but very confusing and hard to tell, and I could not get any kind of definitive evidence that that thing was actually offside, which feels like the most important thing to have happen when you're going to overturn a call, when you had it onside and a goal in the first place, to then go back, revert time on the clock, revert time on the power play, and say that that was offside. Good on the Leafs coaching staff, good on the Leafs video review team for calling that thing in, for challenging that. I had absolutely no idea. The one thing I will say on that as well is, it might just be time here for the NHL to find a way to upgrade technology. Like, soccer has the VAR. There's got to be a way to build, like, some virtual force field that goes up over the blue line and the puck has a chip in it or something, and you could just tell, because that would just make everything easier to be able to tell if the plane is broken. Tennis literally has the bird's eye view Hawkeye, whatever it's called, that comes in and tells you the exact point that the ball hit on the line, on the court, inside, outside, whatever. And soccer has where it can go down to like a fraction of a millimeter to tell you if a player was offside. And yet we can't tell if pucks cross the line, if there's first downs in the NFL, or if you're offside or not. What are we doing? Let's upgrade some of the technology. But regardless, good on the Leafs video team for calling that thing in, for challenging that, and having it turn around, because that thing would have been 2-2. That rink could have got quiet, and instead it goes to 2-1, and then the Leafs just take off and say, not happening, we're not letting you get close like that again. Open that thing up to 6-1. Obviously, it then closes 6-2, but good on the Leafs video team. Another super chat. Super chat here from Michael. If we minus the empty net goal, they lost to Colorado, Florida, Ottawa only by 1 goal. Key is the core has difficulty scoring in tight playoff games. Michael, I would agree with that. There's really no pushback from me there. I think that's kind of been the theme of the shows over the last couple of games here on the post-game show, is like, you're playing well enough. You're not getting blown out in these games. Like, it's not pathetic from that standpoint, but it's pathetic to watch just lacking scoring, and then knowing, because Hutz brought it up on the morning show, which is a perfect point. The guys in your bottom six, the amount that they're making they're pretty much giving you exactly what they're worth and exactly what their contracts are and what they're being paid and what their value is. Like, those guys are not underperforming. And then if you want to get mad at the construction of the team and be like, well, why can't you get depth scoring and secondary scoring? Well, it's probably because the guys that you're paying so much money to are struggling to score, and the rest of the team is now not full of these, players who are on these $5, $6, $7, $8 million deals who can fill in the rest of the lineup and be on your third line and be your second line wingers and stuff, because you've loaded so much into your top six. They need to produce. That's the construction of the team. That's the way Kyle Dubas built it. So I kind of get sick of the argument of like, well, the bottom six doesn't score. The scoring comes down to the big guys. And if they can't score, then they either need to take less money or they need to go somewhere else. Because, if they're going to take that much up and they're not going to be able to score, you cannot look around, point fingers at the bottom six and say, you have to score Calle Jarnkrok making $2 million. That's not fair. He's not here to score 25, 30 goals a season and be your third leading goal scorer in the playoffs. It's up to the big guys to get it done and to score goals. They're the ones who've got to carry this. That's where it became frustrating because we watched over the last little while. They just can't get over that hump. Another super chat. Maxentius, hi KPG. Congrats on the first call. Yes, congrats KPG on that call. Again, thank you to KPG for calling in here tonight as well. I appreciate that. We do have another super chat here. I'll just kind of bounce off that one and go to this one here in the same. Michael says, Zach, you are now more mature for not jumping back in. Yeah, I mean, maybe it goes in waves because, like, I used to go, like, in and then out, and I would be like, this team stinks, and then I'm all the way back in. Now I'm not quite there. Like, I'm just kind of looking at this being like, this does not change for me. I'm not going to get out of here on that. I'm not going to jump back in on that. I am still solid and looking at this group and saying, I'm not believing yet. They've fooled me for the whole season. I need to see more. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm more mature. Sure, I guess. Another super chat. So saying, super chat. In terms of team weaknesses, would you agree that the Leafs are at least average or better in all areas except for the D's initial outlet pass? Agree that the Leafs are at least average or better in all areas except for the D's initial outlet pass? I would probably disagree. I think the initial outlet pass, like, this is the most comfortable I've probably been. I think more so it's like OEL, Tanev, McCabe, Carlo. Watching them go back, and for the most part, Riley can do it. It just depends on if he panics or not. They're pretty good at getting that first pass going. Like, it's not that often that I see them doing or going back to retrieve pucks and just fumble fucking it around. So I would probably disagree, actually. I think their outlets are fine. Look, defense is better. Goaltending's better. You need the big boys to step up. That's really what it comes down to. It sucks. It's annoying to say, but it's the truth. Another super chat. So saying, it's the Leafs. There will be plenty of choking. Well, let's hope not. Let's hope not. Let's just call it what it is. Let's hope not. I mean, we all want to see them win. We all want to see them have success. You want to see them win a cup. I hope they're not choking. But so saying them, you know what reality is. I'm probably with you. Here's the final super chat that we've got. We are very close, so I'll throw this one out there, and then I have another segment that I got to get to. And while I do it, I'll give you guys another chance, and then I'll wrap up the poll there as well. But Maxentius Decimus. Sniff salts if Willie wins the poll. So here's what I'll do. We are 134 votes on the poll. We have about 180 people currently watching here right now to the very end of this thing. So thank you for watching, for liking, for subscribing. Keep I don't even know what to keep hitting that like button. Let's get this thing to 100 likes before we wrap up. I'm going to go and do my grade of the game now. You guys drop your thoughts in there on what your grade of the game is, how you feel about this one, where you're currently at on tonight's game, and kind of just everything that went into this one, and just the response from the team, all of that stuff. I want to know what you guys think, how you feel about it, all of it. Like, let me know. Where are we at as a fan base on this one? Let's get to the 100 before we wrap up. Then I will wrap up the poll. If Nylander is winning the poll by the end, I will do the salts. You guys keep voting on the poll, though. My honest breakdown, my honest grade of tonight is probably an A-. I'm not quite into the A's. I'm just going game by game here basis. The big boys responded. Matthews was going here tonight. He gets 2. I feel like we're back in the right direction there. Carlo looked good. Nick Robertson gets on the board. By the way, we didn't talk about this. Let me just throw this in there for a second. That Nick Robertson shot was one of the most insane things I've ever seen. I saw somebody as well throw out there, like, oh, Nick Robertson, that's not a penalty. Like, that was dumb, but that's not a penalty. No. That's a penalty. That was one of the stupidest things I've seen. I could not believe that Nick Robertson fired that puck. Like, I was shocked. He had to have not heard that whistle. And if he did, and he heard the whistle and he decided to do it anyways, and then he followed it up with that high sticking penalty not too long after, like, the guy was aiming for a fast track to getting back into the press box. That high stick that he took was also just, you cannot have that. You got to be more controlled with your stick. Unbelievable. The 2 penalties that he took tonight. Also, just quickly while I'm on this here, and we'll get back to the grade in a second. Simon Benoit, I am so thankful that he did not cross-check Hunt in the head. Because on the initial play, on the initial replay, like when you saw it with speed and you couldn't see it fully, it looked like he just went after Dryden Hunt and smoked him in the side of the head. Thank God he didn't. Also, love the fact that psychopath takes a clip like that from Dryden Hunt where he gets him up high after he dumps it in and immediately goes after the guy and says, fuck you. You can't do that. I'm going to stick up for myself. Just tosses him into the boards, throws his gloves off, and then just starts wailing on the guy. That was hilarious. I'm glad he didn't cross-check him in the head. And by the way, if there has ever been a third man penalty or a reason for a third man in penalty, Mackenzie Weegar on Simon Benoit was the prime example of what a third man in penalty was. Jumps on Simon Benoit while they're in like this battle. You can't do that. That's literally third man in penalty. Anyways, grade of the game. Honestly, you know what? I'm bumping it to an A. Still not back in on this team, but you want to look at tonight's game alone, then yeah, tonight can get an A for me. 3 for 3 on the power play, 4 for 4 on the penalty kill. You generate more shots, excuse me. You have less hits, but a lot of that for me is because you had the puck most of the night. You carried possession. You dominated the face-off circle there as well. You blocked 23 shots from the Flames tonight. You know, your giveaways were drastically higher. You had 18, they had 9, but clean some of this stuff up. You know, good win here tonight. Glad they responded. I love the St. Pat's jerseys. Joseph Woll, I thought, looked really good as well. A- for me. That's it. that's how we're going to wrap up the show here, ladies and gentlemen. Those are some of the most important things that I wanted to bring up on the show. Those are some of the most important things that I wanted to bring up on the stream. I am not back in, despite what 6 1/3 there says in the chat. We have one more show here in Toronto before we head out to Nashville. The boys will be live tomorrow. Nick Alberga, Jay Rosehill, Mike Commodore hopping on with them as well, so you're going to want to check that out. I will be back Wednesday for a game preview. I will be back Wednesday for a Leafs Nation After Dark, and then after that, I will be gone to Nashville Thursday morning with the boys. We will be doing a live post-game from Carter Hutton's bar in Nashville on Thursday night. Love and Exile Wine Bar. It'll be an absolute blast. I'm looking forward to it. You can catch me live on Thursday night following the game. You can catch the boys live Friday there as well. I think it's 4 to 6 Central Time is I think when they're doing the show. So that'll be a lot of fun to those of you who are in the chat, who we will see down in Nashville. Looking forward to it. For anybody who's watching right now, who's not paid for the Leafs Nation trip, but you're going to be in Nashville. I know, I'm pretty sure Colin McGillis is going to be there. We look forward to seeing you guys. Make sure to come and stop by. Send us a message. We'll arrange some stuff. You come out and see us. We'll see you guys at the game. So it'll be a lot of fun. But I'll be back on Wednesday night for another Leafs Nation After Dark. This has been game number 67 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season, defeating the Calgary Flames here tonight, 6-2, moving to 40-24-3 on the season. Thank you all for watching. Look forward to seeing you all on Wednesday night. Until then, keep believing. For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos, make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and drop a like.